Hello, I'm Christina
And I'm Stuart.
and we're from the Posh Travel blog, and we're going to give you a review of our recent voyage on board Holland America's Oosterdam ship. We've just returned from our August cruise. Stuart's going to give you the facts of the ship now.
Yes, it's a mid-sized vessel, about 82,000 tonnes gross tonnage, approximately 1,964 passengers and 812 crew. It's a nice size, being of 80,000 tonnes. It's not like the giant ships like Wonder of the Seas at 250,000 tonnes. So it's easy to get around, and it's a very upmarket vessel actually. We really enjoyed the cruise, didn't we?
We loved it so much so that we extended on. We were supposed to be on for 24 days, and then a fabulous offer was put through our door with onboard spend. So we went down to see the lovely future cruise lady and booked on extended. We stayed 50 nights in total.
Yeah, total 50 days, yeah.
So,
and that took in Albania, Italy, Turkey, Greece, south of France. It was lovely. It was absolutely lovely. But the cruise is quite elegant. It's not too formal. If you were going to compare to another cruise line, I'd say it's along the lines of Cunard.
definitely.
For standard and for the food quality and everything, but not the formality of Cunard, where you have to be in dinner jackets quite often. Basically, on this ship, they had maybe in a 12-night cruise, say for example, 2 posh nights, but that's just trousers and a jacket, or a dinner jacket, or a shirt and tie for gents. But they were quite relaxed about it, and for ladies, cocktail dresses and things. So, but it was a really nice feel. We had a fabulous cruise, didn't we?
Really, really lovely. And well, food was just 5-star, wasn't it? Really
Yeah,
fantastic.
really amazing. So we're going to do a video today all about the ship and about the food, any hints and tips we've got, and about the entertainment and things like that. So before we left for our cruise, we went on to YouTube looking for a video like this, but unfortunately none of them matched up. There wasn't enough information on there, so we're hoping today we hit the mark and you find the video interesting.
And you like what you see, yeah.
Yeah. So without further ado, here we go.
So we'll start with the most important thing, the food, the dining options on board.
Yes.
Certainly most important to you.
Most important to me because I ate everything in sight and put £10 on. So I'm desperately now trying to lose it.
He's on the 16.8 now, we're home.
But the food on board, all we can say is the food. We've been on many cruise ships, and the food on board was really excellent, really excellent, across all the dining venues. There's 6 dining venues. You've got the main dining room, you've got the Pinnacle Grill, which is the supplement restaurant, Canaletto, which is the Italian supplement restaurant. You've got the Lido Market, which is a very nicely organised buffet restaurant. You've got the Dive-In, which is the burger snack bar on the pool deck, and 24-hour room service, which is also excellent. We used that a couple of times. So if we start at the main dining room, and then we can give you a description on that. So
it's a beautiful venue, isn't it? Lovely lighting, and there's a sweeping staircase, so it runs over decks 2 and decks 3.
Yeah.
Deck 3 was for set sitting, so if you wanted a 6 o'clock or an 8 o'clock sitting, you could make a reservation and your table would always be the same there every night on deck 3.
But the only thing about deck 3, there wasn't so much atmosphere. We were on Freedom Dining, which was on deck 2.
Yeah.
And on Freedom Dining, you just turn up at the restaurant whatever time you like, up till 9 p.m. And the staff there will find you a table, and usually you can have it. We were a 4, so we always had a table for 4. But if you're a 2, you can wait for a 2, or they'll put you with other people if you decide. So
just had a buzzy atmosphere there. Personally, we loved that. We preferred that.
I don't know why. Maybe because the promenade runs round the deck on deck 3. It doesn't feel as nice, whereas when you're downstairs, the windows are obviously overlooking the sea, and it just had more of an atmosphere. I think more people went for Freedom Dining, that's why. So it was quite busy at times. On one of our cruises, there was a lot of Spanish people and Italian people who, like us, like to eat later. So everyone turned up at the dining room at the same time, so then we did have waits. It was usually about 10 minutes. But their staff were amazing, and they always accommodated you, so they were pretty quick.
Yeah,
so.
and seated you. They were fantastic.
They were.
The staff were incredible.
But the food, the food was absolutely delicious. On a gala night, we were having fillet steak with lobster, and it was sometimes you think the lobster's going to be a bit rubbery, but it tasted. I think it was done in one of those sealed bags where it's really vacuum sealed, fresh. It tasted delicious. And the other thing I loved is called port to table, and that's the chef would go ashore, and on one occasion in Naples he bought a whole swordfish, and it was as fresh. I've never tasted swordfish so fresh. It was delicious.
Beautiful,
it was
wasn't
really
it?
good.
Really
You've
incredible.
got a choice of starters.
Gosh, about 5 or 6 starters, weren't there, on the main menu? And
soups.
And the soups were incredible, and they just delicious soups, weren't they? And they poured them out. It was
really
fabulous.
Nice, excellent service as well. The staff on board, they're mostly Indonesians who wait on the tables and look after the cabins. Indonesian Filipinos. I can't say any different about the staff. It was amazing.
So
the service was amazing.
They were the best part of the ship, weren't they? They were just such lovely people.
They will do you special diets, so if you tell them if you're celiac or vegetarian or gluten-free or whatever it is, so they'll accommodate that. The restaurant's open for breakfast, but that usually finishes by 9, and that was a bit early for us because we're late risers. It's open for lunch on sea days. And then in the evening, as I say, the last time you can enter the restaurant as a Freedom Dining guest is 9 p.m. People did straggling
later,
at 9 or 10 past, but they always accommodated them. But 9 o'clock is the cut-off time. So.
And I think they did afternoon tea in there as well on a sea day. Between 3 and 5, I think it was. But
afternoon tea. But the food selection was amazing. They had fish every day. There was always meat. There was either lamb cutlets or steaks and usually there was a strip loin steak or something on. You could order any time.
And they would bring us extra vegetables if we wanted. Nothing was too much trouble, they really were.
No, really good.
They even did a special order for my dad's partner, who's she's disabled, but she likes certain foods, pâtés and things. Nothing was too much trouble, and they put a special order in for her.
Yeah, they were really good.
Just can't fault it.
We went for the wine package. Now the wine package, you could buy 4 bottles, 6 bottles or 8 bottles, because we weren't on the Have It All package. Because on the Have It All package, they bring you wine, but it's by the carafe and it's limited wines, whereas we prefer to choose our wines. And also on the Have It All package, you would have, there's other things included, Wi-Fi and discounts offshore excursions, but when we go ashore we tend to do our own thing, so we didn't think it was value for money, and actually in the long run we were right to just buy our drinks. It worked out cheaper for us.
It did.
But the wine package was good, and they had a really nice selection of different wines. 8 reds I think there were. You can either go for package 1, 2 or 3, and they go up slightly in price. The one we went for, 8 bottles, package 3, I think was $329 for 8 bottles. Yeah. So it gives you an idea of the price.
Lovely quality wines, weren't they?
It was,
really,
and
really
the
nice.
Sommelier, she was excellent. It was.
And she'd sort of find equivalent, wouldn't she, or give us other substitutes or treat us sometimes to one to
she was
better
very
ones.
good.
Fantastic,
she was
Sommelier.
really nice.
Really
so that's the main dining room. I say over 2 levels, levels 2 and 3. Personally, we prefer the Freedom Dining, but if you don't want the hassle of waiting, go to level 3 and make a reservation in advance when you do your booking. So the first of the speciality restaurants is the Pinnacle Grill. The supplement for the Pinnacle Grill, I think, is $39, and it's a very upmarket, well, as it says, grill. So you have lamb cutlets again, steaks, and all different things like that. It's situated on deck 2, isn't it? Yeah, deck 2, and there's a little bar next to it called the Pinnacle Bar, so it's nice to have a drink before dinner and then go into the restaurant. Very, very nice inside. Always fairly busy, isn't it? So
just for a change, just something. It's very, very lovely, isn't it? For a special occasion.
On some of the cruises, they do what's called a selle de mer, and it's a seafood night, which is more expensive, but not on the cruise we were on. But some of the other ships do it, and that really would be worth a visit. But unfortunately, we didn't get to do that. So, but the Pinnacle Grill is a very nice. But once again, it is steaks and things which you do get a lot of in the main dining room. So we didn't tend to go to the Pinnacle Grill because we were so happy with the main dining room, the food, we didn't feel the need, to be honest with you.
No. Still a lovely venue, very beautiful venue.
Really nice, and you do need to make reservations. I think they can be done in advance. Otherwise, as soon as you get onto the ship, go downstairs to the guest services desk on deck 1, and you can make the reservations there and then. So, and that's also the same for Canaletto. Canaletto is the Italian speciality restaurant.
Yeah, and that's actually located on deck 9 in sort of in the corner of the Lido market. They've sectioned it off and they make it into the Italian intimate dining in the evening. For us, I sort of still felt I was in the buffet restaurant. So, but the food was lovely. As I say, it's Italian themed. But just to bear in mind that it is cordoned off in the main buffet restaurant.
They've put glass walls up and things,
and candlelight,
and section it off,
lighting.
And lovely tablecloths and everything. So, but once again, there was lovely pasta dishes in the main dining room. So,
yeah,
the supplement was only $19. I think you pay 18% gratuity on top of that. So it was fairly reasonable, but we still ate in the main dining room most of the time because there was everything down there you couldn't want for more, to be honest with you. Hence the weight gain.
And then the Lido buffet.
Yeah,
that was incredible. I've never really. I think we've been on a lot of cruise ships, but I think this buffet had to be rated as one of the best.
Definitely,
ever.
it's on deck 9, and it doesn't feel like a crashy buffet with plastic trays and that you get on other. We've been on other ships and you get your plastic tray and it's like being at a college canteen. It was really nice, tasteful, and you just take a plate. You don't have a tray, which is I really like, to be honest.
And I think because of COVID as well, they actually dish everything up, don't they? The salads. They had an extensive salad bar with all the salads, all the leaves, It was amazing, and that was just on its own, and they would make the salads up for you, be it Caesar or I love the Asian salad. That was wonderful. Then they have a carving station.
Yeah.
The meats every day and fresh fish.
It's open most of the day. It's open for breakfast until 10 o'clock in the morning, wasn't it? That was usually us at 10 to 10 rolling in.
Yeah.
Then it opens for lunch early, about 11:30.
Half 11
I think.
it is, yeah.
And that runs through till 2, to about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Then it opens again at 3:30 or 4 o'clock. It's literally only about an hour and a half when it's not open, and you can go and get different food. In the afternoon, it's basically a pasta station and pizzas.
That's always open, isn't it? In the afternoon,
It's going back to breakfast. You've got the omelette station, you've got the cooked breakfast station, eggs, any way you like them, hollandaise, a lovely fruit selection, pancakes, waffles. I mean, really, literally anything you want. They've got everything. So
fabulous, yeah. And I was just thinking as well, you can always go up there to get a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. They had the tea and coffee stations there, and there was always fresh fruit laid out there, and it was fresh figs. We had fresh cherries, depending which port we were in and what seasonal fruits. They really went to town on as I say, the cherries and figs, and
it was excellent.
It was lovely. And then they had the themed buffets
in the evenings.
We were overnight in Istanbul, for example, and they did a massive Turkish buffet meal, and it was amazing, wasn't it?
It doesn't even feel like a buffet restaurant.
No.
It feels like a proper dining room because the waiters serve you your drinks anyway. Well, obviously you have to go and collect your food, but it's so tastefully done with nice lighting and wood and everything that it's not like being in a buffet restaurant.
It's like kind of booth seating as well, isn't it, in certain areas? So Stuart said you don't feel
really
like
nice.
that whole canteen. It's lovely, really, really.
And I think
impressed.
the dinner's open till
9:30. I think it was in the Lido.
9:30.
Yeah, and then they had the midnight, the late night buffet came on.
9,
so.
but it was.
Oh no, maybe 9 o'clock.
It was
9
o'clock.
9 o'clock.
9
For speciality restaurants at 9:30.
And then they open again at 10:30, I think it was.
Yes, it
At
did.
10:30 they open again, the Lido market, and they've got all manner of things again for another hour up there. It's just, and one of the things I must say you must try if you do go on Oosterdam,
Oh gosh, yeah.
is the bread and butter pudding, because it's their speciality, and it's delicious.
It is to die for.
And you can also get ice creams. You know, they've got an ice cream station there in the buffet that you can take out to the pool and things like that. So, Lido Market we were very impressed with. Lots of choice. It was really good.
Oh, and they had Asian days, didn't they, as well? And the sushi was out, but the curries were incredible.
Yeah, always sushi.
Yeah.
And they had an Indian day, and of course an Indian chef obviously cooked them because they're so delicious. And they had all those, and then they had an Indonesian day, and then they had a Chinese. So there was a section just for that. There's nothing you could want for. It was excellent. Really good food. And thank goodness I got off, because otherwise I'd have been 25 stone.
We'd had to wheel him off.
So lastly, for restaurants, there's a little snack bar by the swimming pool in the middle of the ship on deck 9 called Dive-In. Really good. They've got a selection of burgers and hot dogs and fries, different ways. Fries, they call it naked with nothing on, or with cheese on, or things like that.
Yeah,
but the burgers were delicious, unfortunately.
Yeah, and if you wanted to sort of have a healthy burger, which I tried to do you could have it between 2 lettuce leaves, so I felt like I was...
Yeah, the healthier option. Or they did do one for a
vegan.
vegan, which was just mushroom and avocado. So it looked like a burger, but wasn't actually meat. So they had different options on there. So they're a really nice little snack bar, and it's open all day up until about 7 o'clock in the evening.
Was
from lunchtime
fabulous.
all the way to 7 o'clock in the evening. So if you were late, went ashore on a shore excursion and then came back, you can just nip up there and get a snack. It was
really and they give you a pager if it's busy, and it buzzes when the meal's
But all we
ready.
can say, finally, the room service. There's quite an extensive menu for the room service. One evening we went for a drinks do, and we didn't get back in time for dinner, so we ordered
steak sandwiches and
it's
with
delicious.
caramelised onions, and it was lovely, wasn't
delicious.
it? And we were fortunate enough to be in a suite, and they served it, didn't they, have a table outside on the balcony, and it was lovely. Yeah.
It was delicious.
We were in Villefranche.
And you can order that 24 hours a day. I mean, you can put your breakfast card on your door. They leave it on your bed, so in the evening, so in the morning you can have it delivered whatever time suits you up till 10 o'clock, or you can just call the number and ask them for whatever you want, and they'll bring it. They were really, really good. But the food on this ship, amazing. We were told, we were in a hotel in Civitavecchia, and some long-time cruisers of Holland America Line said, "Have you been on before?" And we said no, and they said, "You're in for a treat with the food." And we were. It was delicious, and we're going to return just for the food.
It exceeded our expectations.
It was really, really good.
Well, fantastic.
Yep. So
I think that covers the
that's
food,
the food.
doesn't it? So moving on to entertainment now. All of the entertainment really happens on deck 2. We call it the music walk. I don't know if that's the official name.
I think that's what they called it.
I think it is,
yeah. That's what they called it.
And it was lovely because you'd come out of dinner, obviously we were on deck 2, or deck 3, majority of people coming out of 2, and you've got, first of all, the Lincoln Centre, which was lovely, wasn't it? Classical concerts there.
It's a sectioned off area on the side, and they had a 4-piece orchestra there, and every day, well, most days, obviously apart from their day off, they did a recital, either from the greats or modern or whatever. But it was really lovely, and it was really popular actually.
It was.
Yeah.
They did Coldplay one night, didn't they? They did different themes, but it was, amazing. Yeah, really, really lovely.
Yeah, and you could go and see that before dinner. They do 2 performances each day, didn't they? So. But that was a really nice thing, and very popular on board, because the demographic on board, the passengers, more retirement age, obviously that time of year there was more children, but obviously there was more of an age range, but usually on that ship it's more of a retirement age vessel. So the classical concerts were very popular, basically.
So moving on from the Lincoln Centre, carry along, and you've got the Rolling Stones Lounge on the left-hand side, and that was very lively. They had a band in there. Was it about 6?
Yeah, about a 6-piece band, I think it was. 2 singers, guitarist, bass, and it was
fantastic
really
atmosphere.
Good atmosphere in there, booth seating and a bar.
Yeah, it was like a nightclubby feel, wasn't it? But really good. And I think when the band finished, they played till very late. Then there was a DJ sort of playing request music, so until the early hours for those late night dancers.
So you could always have a dance.
And there was a little bar at the entrance to the Rolling Stones Lounge. And then moving on from there, you had the gallery bar on your left with sort of rolled into the casino area. And then on the right-hand side of the music walk was the billboard on board, which is 2 grand pianos back to back. And that was great, wasn't it? Really
yeah, and the pianists would play together and would sing, and it was always busy in there, and that was a good atmosphere.
It was,
and
there was a little bar in the corner. They bounced off each other. That was fantastic.
Yeah, the entertainment was good.
Yeah,
it was good. And then going on from there, well, the gallery bar was so cool because it's got pictures all around it, and it had some old like slot machines, oldie worldy type things, and quite a nice little bar there. But it did border the casino. And so did the billboard on board, and the casino is quite a prominent feature on the ship, and it was quite busy. But it was a nice place to go and have a drink before dinner.
That kind of moved on to the theatre, the main stage theatre at the back, is on level 2 as well. However, the theatre covers 3 floors, 1, 2 and 3. Very impressive theatre, actually.
Yeah, 3 stories. So,
yeah.
And we did go to a couple of shows, and they were really good. They had their own dance troupe on board, and then they had a guest entertainers as well, and they did enrichment talks on the stage as well, regarding ports and things like that. But the entertainment was pretty comprehensive.
And on a sea day, they had movies. They had Gladiator, didn't they? And
they
the
turned
new
it
Elvis
into
film.
a cinema.
So.
So the entertainment was good. There was always music to be had, and you can have a dance, so it was good. They do have. We're going to move to deck 3 in a minute. The Ocean Bar. They had a pianist there that used to play as well, and then they didn't. What they didn't have, which we've had on a few other cruise ships, was outside like dancing. They did it once, I think.
They did.
Did it once on our cruise, and we were on for 50 days. But it's to do with COVID. I think they've cut right back.
Yeah.
So don't know, but it was very good. Yeah, the entertainment was really good. So deck 3. On deck 3, you can find the photo gallery, the Ocean Bar, the shops. And there's some meeting rooms as well where they do church services. The photo gallery, we think it's a bit old-fashioned, but I think this is what the big cruise lines do. They take photographs of you when you're getting on the ship, when you're getting off the ship, at dinner and things like that. And then you can go along to the photo gallery, and your photos are there, and you can purchase them. And actually, we did buy one photograph. I'm looking at it now on the side, but we don't usually. But yeah, so that's a bit novel, really. They also do portrait sessions and things if you want to do that, and on the special nights they do portrait nights and things. Next to that is the Ocean Bar,
which is where we were most nights. That was our sort of pre-dinner drinking place, and it was lovely there. Really nice, lovely staff, and a nice intimate feel. And we were always a little bit late. I think 5 o'clock they had a pianist play in there, a grand piano, but we did hear him on one occasion. It was very good. Yeah,
I did put on the comments after the cruise that it would have been nice if the pianist had played up till 8 o'clock, because quite a few people go to dinner at 8 o'clock, which would have been a nice thing, because we were always too late for the pianist. We like to drink just before and go to dinner at 8. So. But you could always go to the billboard on board. I mean, they did have some music there. But the Ocean Bar was very nice. We used to enjoy a drink there in the evening.
And then the shops, the shopping arcade, lovely shops. And one thing I liked was it called Pre-Loved?
Yes, yeah.
And had a section there of all the Louis Vuitton and Chanel bags. I only looked, of course, but they're all pre-owned, and I just thought it was a really nice idea.
Pre-owned, but still expensive. In 3,000.
Mint condition, but a fraction of the. Still expensive, but a fraction of the real retail price. But just a nice idea. Yeah. We had all the cosmetics and the normal
and drink and confectionery and diamonds, and it was pretty good shops actually.
And toiletries if you needed, if you forgotten to bring anything at all.
Yeah, so the shops were good. And then going back to the meeting rooms, they were just past the shops, and they had congregational services and things there.
Church services, etc.
Friends of Bill W. and things like that. They used to get together. So deck 3 was. You spend quite a bit of time on deck 3.
Definitely, and money.
Yeah, and money.
So moving on to deck 9, there's 2 swimming pools. That's where the swimming pools are located. One at the back of the ship called the Sea View Pool and Bar. That was lovely, and that's tended to be where we'd congregate if there was a sail away party, or one night or sort of sunset time, we cruised past Stromboli, the active volcano, and all the officers were out on deck, and it was magical, wasn't it? Really nice.
Yeah, it was lovely.
And I think in the south of France they had a late night dancing out on deck there, so that was a nice night.
And then there's another swimming pool in the centre of the ship, and it's got a retractable glass roof that closes when it rains and opens, obviously, when the weather's fine. And it had disabled access both ends if you require that, like chair hoists that hoist you either into the jacuzzi. There was 2 jacuzzis, and or into the swimming pool.
Yeah.
There was jacuzzis out on the back deck as well, and a number of sunbeds there.
Yeah.
The sea view pool on the back, there was quite a few sunbeds.
It was lovely, and there were nice mattresses on the sunbeds, weren't they? And abundance of towels as well. You didn't have to worry about bringing towels from your cabin or anything. There was just loads of towel stations and loads of towels.
Showers and everything like that.
And all the products as well out there. It was very luxurious, really, very comfortable.
Yeah, and on the same deck, off that pool, is the greenhouse spa and also the fitness centre, which we did actually go in once in 50 days, so that's pretty good going.
We started off with great intentions, but it all just went downhill.
But we did a lot of walking, as you can imagine. Yeah. But the spa, they do a number of treatments. Sorry about that. Battery's going low. The spa have got a number of treatments, massages. There's a hairdresser in there. Nails you had done and things like that.
Lovely spa.
Quite an extensive list. Not that cheap.
No, it wasn't. Yeah.
You had your nails done.
Yeah,
toenails and fingernails, was it?
Yeah. It was
100.
Yeah, I think it was 130 for the shellac. So not
more
cheap.
than you'd pay at home, but that's expected, I suppose, as you're on a cruise.
But it was nice. Yeah, it was a nice treat.
Yeah, but it was busy. The spa was very busy. So if you are looking to do treatments, you need to get booked in when you get on board. And the gym had quite good equipment. It had a number of running machines, floor mats. It had all the weights, and then it had the leg machines and the lap pull down and all those sort of machines as well. So it was quite well equipped, and there was a guy in there, the gym instructor, if you needed any help.
Or you could pay for personal lessons.
You could
to have him as well.
You could. So that's, and also on deck 9, obviously, which we've already gone over, was the Lido Market restaurant.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's deck 9. So finally for the decks, deck 10. And on deck 10 you had at the front, and I believe it used to probably be an observation lounge with a bar and everything, but they've changed it all now and they call it the Explorers Cafe. And there's a really nice coffee shop up there where you can drink. There's board games, and then there's these interactive glass computers that you can tap, and it tells you port information, excursion information. And they've got these big screens showing future cruises and things like that. And it's very relaxing. It's got all lovely seats all the way around the windows looking out over the view.
Yeah, with footstools and speciality coffees, just to while away there with a book, and very relaxing, very peaceful.
Very popular, actually.
It was nice. And there was a bar up there as well.
The bar up there as well. So that was very nice.
Yeah.
And then there was a kids club, but we didn't go in there.
No, and I don't think it's... we were at height of the school holidays, but I think the maximum we had on board was 50 children, and that was a peak week.
It doesn't really attract... I mean, like I say, we docked next to Wonder of the Seas. Well, they had it all. They had the water slides. They had everything. And they probably got the biggest kids club at sea. But on here, it's just a token, basically.
It's not much for children, so it doesn't really attract...
It's more of a... adult and older clientele on board.
And to be fair, I think the children, there was no little one. They were all sort of more teenage
really well behaved, nice
children.
They were lovely children. But so there's a small kids club just in case. And then going up to deck 11, finally, they had what's called the Retreat, which is a private cabana sunbathing area. And you could...
It was lovely, wasn't it? You could hire the private cabana, and they would come and serve your meals up there for you. So you can... I think the ideal time would be on a sea day when it's a little bit busier on the decks and noisy, just to go up there and to escape and, to have this this retreat. It was very luxurious and very, very nice. And as I say,
Sunbeds,
yeah.
table and chairs, you have your food delivered, things like that, but not cheap. I
Yeah.
think we had a drinks party up there one night, and I asked the lady, and unfortunately I haven't got the information, and she didn't know. But I think the price is just about $120 or something like that dollars to hire it for the day. So it's not cheap. But I suppose if you're a day at sea and it's a one-off thing that you wanted to do, then
it's nice. Yeah,
it makes a nice change, and you're away from everybody else then, because the ship does get busy when you're at sea. Obviously, all the sunbeds are taken. We tended to just sit on our lovely balcony or wander around and.
And I guess if you were doing a long crossing, I think you could book it for a week or something for your whole duration. They'd probably do a discounted rate the longer you were to
do a deal,
have
but
it for.
I'm sorry, I haven't got the exact figures, but I know it's over $100. And also up there is the sports court, and there's like a netted in sports area with basketballs, nets, and I guess a golf driving, and that's why the nets are there, I'm not sure, but tennis definitely.
Yeah, definitely tennis.
Yeah, so that's decks 10 and decks 11.
Yep,
Covered.
And finally, I think our favourite part of the ship was the promenade on deck 3. It wraps completely round the ship, and it is just lovely. And we walked around there and nearly jogged.
It's 1.3, was it?
It was 3 times round was a mile. I know
3
that.
times round was a mile. Yeah, 3 times round was a mile. And all along the deck, it's obviously where the lifeboats, where you join the lifeboats anyway, but it's a lovely wooden deck, and all the way along they've put these steamer chairs out with luxury cushions on, and it's shady there, so it's a really nice place to spend the day, isn't it?
Yeah, and again, all mattresses on the steamer beds and towel stations again, so if you just wanted to find somewhere peaceful and shady,
very popular.
And read a book, wonderful, yeah, really, really lovely. And the lovely thing is it wraps right around the ship, so you can see the wake. It was
really nice. That's one of the best parts of the ship.
We'd have a walk around after dinner under the stars, didn't we, as well? It was lovely.
Really, really nice. And that's what we liked about it. Quite a few of the modern ships don't have that.
No.
But this is like mix of old and new. You've got the old, you've got the lovely promenade deck, but then you've also got the modern facilities as well. So
yeah, very elegant. Yeah, a
but
real ship.
All in all, we had a fabulous cruise. We'll definitely cruise Holland America again.
Absolutely, yeah.
Excellent value for money at the moment as well. Food amazing, entertainment great, staff some of the best we've had at sea. So yeah, if you're considering booking, I'd go ahead. It's really good.
Definitely.
And the itinerary we did around Italy and Greece in August is lovely. There's no movement on the ship at all. So, so I think that wraps it up really. So I hope you enjoyed our video.
Thank you very much for watching. And if you like what you see, please subscribe to our channel, the Posh Travel blog. We've also
I think
covered...
there's a button down here somewhere.
Is there? Yeah. And we've also extensively covered all the grades of cabins, and they're actually on separate videos on our YouTube channel. So take a look at those. As I say, we've covered all of the categories, including the adapted cabin as well. But thank you very much for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.